We are here for our annual Baobab Summit, and that is a leadership development opportunity bringing together more than 300 scholars from across the entire partner network. These are young people who are doing their undergraduate or master's degree at universities around the world. And so as part of the Baobab Summit this year, we are enabling a group of young people to participate in the Resolution Project Social Venture Challenge, which is a really exciting opportunity for 30 teams of scholars to participate and to compete to get their give back ideas activated. And so what I mean by that is that these are young people who have incredible ideas around giving back to their community. They need a little bit of capital, some mentorship, and some connections to networks of other young entrepreneurs in order to really get those ideas off the ground. And so they are here tonight. There's 71 scholars competing in 30 teams. The semifinals are tonight, and the winners will be announced on Saturday night. So it's a very exciting moment for them.
Shona, that's rather very interesting. And just today morning, some of the conversations that were happening were around innovation on the continent. Mm-hmm. Now, Africa has been spearheading much when it comes to financial inclusion. Even you have a project with IFC that we will touch in a bit. But we're still looking at, there is one interesting conversation from Nigeria called Blood Bank. They are using technology to deliver blood. Here in Rwanda, drones and all of this. But of course, these are startups that have already put their footprint into the industry. Now, about these that are actually not so much, financed and all of this, the problem becomes financement. They are not really connected to the rightful ways of being funded. Is this some of the conversations that are happening to actually spur more growth for innovation in Africa?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we see it every day, young people from the continent who have incredible ideas. The ideas are not lacking. There are many of them. And so many of them have a social slant, where really their ideas about making one's community a better place in some way, shape, or form. But what really is the challenge, or one of the key challenges, is access to financing. There are other challenges, but access to capital is really one of the critical concerns. And so the Resolution Project is one way in which we are supporting early stage entrepreneurs. The foundation, the Mastercard Foundation, is involved in a number of different projects that are enabling young entrepreneurs at different stages of their ideas to really gain support, capital, access to mentors and networks of other entrepreneurs. And this is one of our initiatives that's really for those young people who are at the very beginning stages of their ideas.
All right, Shona, allow me to move on to that beat of the projects that Mastercard Foundation has been doing in Rwanda. Just in early March, you did commit up to $100 and $100 million rather, and 50 million of that was going into Hanga Ahazaza, and to employ up to 30 million youth in the continent before the year 2030. How is this coming up?
Yeah. So yes, in March of this year, the foundation launched its bold new strategy, Young Africa Works. And the goal of this strategy is to enable 30 million young people, particularly young women, to gain access to work that they see as fulfilling and dignified. So we launched this new strategy here in Kigali, and Kigali and Rwanda is really our first country of focus. And so as part of that launch, we also launched $100 million for efforts in Rwanda connected to Young Africa Works. And part of that is the Hanga Ahazaza project, which is really around creating opportunities, training, skilling for young people in the tourism sector, which is, as we know, a really growing and important sector here in Rwanda. So enabling young people to gain skills and opportunities and connections to employment in that sector.
All right. Now, the other beat that I wanted to touch base with, and I've kept on pushing for it, is that partnership that you did sign with IFC just a few weeks ago. It's not even a conversation of months or whatever, but IFC, as part of the World Bank and Mastercard Foundation, are looking at digital financial inclusion, and this has everything to do with inclusive economic growth. Please shed more light on this.
Sure. One of the main areas of focus for the foundation over the years has been on financial inclusion, recognizing that so many young people and families are left out. They don't have access to the financial services they need in order to survive and thrive. So we see the digital economy is certainly an area where we have a lot of interest and a lot of focus. We see it as really a growth area in Africa, and really an area where there's a lot of innovation and a lot of interesting work happening. And so the partnership with IFC is part of our efforts to focus and to amplify and elevate efforts to enable financial inclusion through the digital economy.
Today is a Women's Day in South Africa, and steering the conversations around the continent, we're still looking at the women having their rightful place in politics, in business, in literally everything. How are we seeing these events transpiring?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can't talk about youth unemployment, we can't talk about social transformation or economic growth without focusing on girls and young women, who are traditionally those who suffer the most barriers in terms of access to good quality education, to leadership development opportunities, and to a whole host of other services that they need in order to survive and thrive. And so the foundation does have a significant focus on women and girls. You see it in the goal that I articulated a moment ago, 30 million young people, particularly young women. And so we are doing a lot of work already that has a very clear gender lens, and it's an area that we intend to continue to build on and continue to focus on in the years to come.